It's in the wind, the power of the sun, the energy stored in the earth, and the fuel hidden in the biomass. In all this, the future of southern Alberta's development and sustainability awaits. Renewable energy. In 2004, 20 South Central Alberta communities committed to working together to achieve prosperity for the region, encompassing over 130,000 people. The SouthGrow Regional Initiative was born. SouthGrow's goal is to assist communities, organizations, businesses, and people in the region to further their economic development goals and to maintain their high quality of life. The Economic Development Alliance is focused on a shared vision, a region that is unified, prosperous, and sustainable.
We combine all of our energies and talents and monies towards growing regionally our economic strength. We go after projects that are specific to the needs of our region as a whole, and with the hope and the intent that what's good for one is good for all.
In 2012, the Rural Alberta Development Fund approved a $480,000 grant for empowering renewable energy clusters in the SouthGrow region using renewable energy co-ops. This initiative would build on the outcomes of the Community Renewable Energy Assessments, conducted by Lethbridge College's International Wind Energy Academy in each of the SouthGrow member communities.
To create sustainability, and in reality, a renewable energy project in a small rural community is one of the better economic development opportunities that a rural community can have. And so it made perfect sense to look at what are the resources that are available in southern Alberta, what kind of renewable energy projects would be successful, and do some research on where those opportunities will exist and where we can build clusters of development.
These co-ops will bring new jobs and revenue generation opportunities to rural communities, creating sustainability and expanded economic and capacity development, something that has inspired the town of Cardston, which has entered into serious discussions with Lethbridge College to explore ways of developing an unconventional economic engine.
We as towns needed to have more abilities to provide incentives to new businesses that would like to establish themselves here. We own our own distribution center, electrical system, so that is possibly a way to help new businesses with reduced rates.
A year before the discussion between Cardston and Lethbridge College began, SouthGrow led a discussion in Cardston on the renewable energy toolkit they had developed with the Rural Alberta Development Fund and Lethbridge College. Some of the highlights included wind technologies and solar power.
What we're trying to do with the SouthGrow toolkit was to allow people to the ability to be able to analyze a project and to decide for themselves whether that project was good for their community or not. So what you're doing basically is saying, here's a project, let's go through the toolkit, and that's basically what the toolkit was designed to do. Help communities to consider alternative energy projects. And that could be along the lines of anything in the alternative energy field.
Spurred by the toolkit, the Cardston Economic Development Committee spent some time talking about the possibility of a utility-based incentive that could attract new businesses. Lethbridge College and Cardston met to explore forming a partnership of sorts to develop a model that would help serve both parties.
Forming that type of a partnership between maybe complementary governments and institutions works really well for a lot of the funding that may be available out there, and for the appeal that we can do in raising funds going forward for the types of projects that we've discussed. The beauty of the relationship with Lethbridge College is we can help provide them power, and it gives them access to turbines, resources, or other energy sources developed that will help with their programs and their teaching opportunities.
One of the exciting opportunities is the chance to move our expertise into the international market, and the training that we have here is to an international standard. And so countries from all over the world are recognizing the quality of training that we're doing here, and we see that spilling over into the development of projects through our work with co-ops and opportunities with economic development groups in creating renewable energy projects that communities can be involved in, individuals can be involved in, creating co-ops within groups of people.
This discussion on renewable energies has also opened up conversations with other communities and comparable ideas for other renewable technologies. Kyle Green, who heads up a solar project in Vulcan, assisted Lethbridge College in doing much of the technical writing that eventually ended up in the renewable energy toolkits. Even though the ideas surrounding the solar project in Vulcan were conceived earlier, they were able to use some of the information gleaned from the toolkit as the project moved forward.
This is not a traditional solar park. The solar park is producing energy while in an aesthetically pleasing manner. When we say aesthetically pleasing manner, it is actually going to look like a green space park. This green space park is producing electricity, increasing community capacity while offsetting electricity for the street lamps.
Thanks to things like the toolkit, the SouthGrow Regional Initiative is helping communities create strategies for the replication and sharing of best practices in co-op development. Alberta is an energy powerhouse. According to a 2011 report by Edmonton's Renewable Energy Task Force, Alberta's alternative resources have the potential to create 300 times more energy annually than all the fossil fuels extracted in the province per year. For the members of the SouthGrow Regional Initiative, the opportunities to power the future are waiting in the earth, the sun, and the wind.